Alright, so we're here again. This time we've rotated the kitchen and we're going to go ahead and draw this wall now. So again, I'm going to just kind of pick a point in the corner of the kitchen and then line everything up with it. You might also wonder, well, wouldn't we have to take into account the thickness of the sheetrock? Yes and no. First of all, these walls are drawn as 6-inch walls, and we know that they are actually 5.5-inch walls. So that takes care of a lot of those, but even if the dimension is pulled to this edge, that doesn't help us any. But again, these plans are just for that. They're planning purposes only. They're not going to go to a factory and build cabinets off of these drawings and then bring them to the job. They're mainly for bidding purposes, and then the cabinet company comes out and measures to make sure they actually fit. So a 1/2 inch here and there doesn't make any difference at all. Let me erase these notes, oops, because they don't really apply here. Again, we've got all these cabinets that have options for short cabinets and tall cabinets. Well, again, we don't need to show those, so we'll just explode them one at a time. This says, and read this before you explode it, W3912. So then you rewrite it, W39, and it's actually going to be 24. Well, you know, I'll just leave it what it was. W3030. W33, that one was already exploded. That's exploded. This one's exploded. That's exploded. Exploded, exploded. So it looks like we can just erase all these dotted lines on the top. Oops, and we didn't explode this. Alright. And that's all gone now. I don't care much for these open shelves unless the builder asks for them specifically. Our distance from here to here is 11 foot 7.5. So we're going to need some fill pieces on this whole wall. Where they go is kind of up to you. I actually like hiding them sometimes over here on this edge because it's such a small spot you wouldn't notice much of a fill piece. Let's get this out of the way for the moment. This. Let's just see how close we are on the size of the kitchen here. There's this line and this line. Stretch it up and then go ahead and sometimes I just color it green or something because there's not a lot of green over here. And our pantry, let's see, there's an angled wall. Nope, it's not there. So we need to add this wall here. I don't know what this must be referring to. This wall. Match properties. We want all our text and lines to be the same color. Typically cyan, light blue color. So this looks like a pretty decent setup, the way they've got it. Our refrigerator spaces are always 39 inches, right there, 3'3". Refrigerators typically come 3 foot wide, and 3'3" is plenty of room to get it in without it hitting things on the side and so forth. Whoever did this last forgot to stretch this over because they're not even. Not a big deal. Same with this one. Distance from here to here is 7 foot 4.5, which means we'll end up doing 7 foot 3. Let's see what we've got at the moment. 7 foot 3. So what they have here is going to be what it is. Not anything to really change here. Move our arrow back because that is a fill piece. Should be about 1.5 inches. Let's see what it is. 1.5 inches. Which tells us we'll probably have 1.5 inches here as well. Because if this is 2 feet and this is 1 feet deep, then our leftover spaces are going to be the same size. I want this to be yellow. Alright, so we know that this This shaded purple area represents this cabinet right here. It's the side profile of it. Just like this side profile represents this cabinet here. So what are we going to do? I think what would look nice would be to have the range hood cabinet pop up a little bit, like we did this one, and then the same with the refrigerator. And the other ones can stay down at that 30 inch. So I'm actually going to lower this back down because the corner is going to be only 30 inch. It's premature in raising that. What to do here? Not crazy about what they have. I look here and I see that that's 15 inches. And let's look at it this way. This whole thing is 3'3", so we can do one cabinet in a 3'3" space. 4.5, I think. Well, let's see. I'm trying to find the midpoint. There's the midpoint. We're going to draw a line. So we want to slide these over so that they're kind of close, like this. And when you erase it, you can see that this gap here is a little bit smaller than this gap here, so yeah, just squeeze that in slightly. Again, it's just imagery. It doesn't have to be exact. So this is going to be a W 39 by 30. Excuse me, 36. 3 O's. Oh, we're not lined up. My apologies. See that? You have to actually stretch this whole cabinet up 6 inches because the weekly base is a 30-inch cabinet, and frankly we don't do any 30-inch cabinets in that community, the downtown Austin community. It's all either 36 or 42 unless requested otherwise. So here we go, 39 by 36. Let's stretch this back up, and that matches this corner, so our two corners match. As far as the heights, they're both 12 inches deep. And then we can go ahead and put, even though they have it written down there, I don't like it down there, so we know that this is 30 inches wide. And it's 18 now, so W 3018. Get rid of this. This one, just copy the text, is 3036. 3036, okay. Some people might get a little bit out of shape over the fact that this cabinet does not match this one. I understand that. Not sure exactly what we could do without messing up the lower part. When you look at this plan here, it seems to be a pretty good spot for cooking, so I think we'll just let them live with it. And this here, we're going to pop this one up 6 inches. And so now it's a 3024. And just like this one, we want it to be a 15-inch deep cabinet. So that again, the crown mold that sits on top of here butts into the side of this cabinet. Same with this side. The crown mold would butt into the side of this cabinet. We're going to do the same thing here. 6 inches. Stretch these up. And the same exact thing. We want this one to be 15-inch deep upper. So what this does is creates a lot of dynamic feel to the kitchen. You don't have just a straight row of cabinets. There's all sorts of different depths and dimensions and so forth. Even though it is actually a fairly simple kitchen, it'll look much more complicated. And we think this backsplash for community. Back over there. These are done. Now we can do the island. So the island has 4 sides, but really we only can show 2 sides, this front side and this right side, because the other 2 sides are just overhangs. Trim this off a little bit, clean it up. We use the break command, break that edge off. Alright, so erase the ceiling line, still under wall. And we know that this is a countertop, and this toe kick down here are going to be the same height even for an island. So we'll just put those there, knowing that that's where they're going to go. And this line can come up and fill it, expand, extend, trim. Make match properties. This is a 34.5-inch wall, 4 inches wide. I know it's actually 3.5 inches wide, but we say 4 just to make it simpler. And color them yellow so that we don't get such a dark, bold line. You also know that we're going to extend our countertop quite a bit over. Should be about an 18-inch overhang, and it is. Extend this over. Now what I was trying to do with the kitchen sink when I placed it was to put it right in the middle of this countertop, which is right here. Not the cabinet, but the countertop, because it goes from this edge to this edge. And you can see I'm right smack dab in the middle. So, oops, I didn't mean to erase that. Now we can take our kitchen base, move it over here, and then do a mirror image because the dishwasher doesn't fit on the other side. Whoops, I must have hit the wrong command. No, I didn't. Mirror that one and move this one. I guess I thought they were connected, but they are not. Sometimes these two will be connected in a block. Do not need to dimension this because everyone knows that the dishwashers are 24 inches wide. So, but we need to put a cabinet down at this end. And it looks like we have 18 inches. So we'll just copy this over, explode it first. BS 36. Looks like it fits pretty good, and we're going to call it B18. What we have on this side is, well, that doesn't make sense. The whole entire cabinet is 8'2". No, that doesn't make sense because that's 2 inches wasted. 8'2". That's odd. Why would I have done that? Go back to the floor plan. I like to avoid fill whenever possible. So our distance from this half wall to the outer edge is indeed 8'2". That's alright. I'll just do a 2-inch fill. If I had more time and energy, I'd just go ahead and go back to the floor plan. In fact, let's just do it. I'll show you what I'll do. Go back to the floor plan real quick. I'll come back in a second. Open this viewport. And you can see that from here to here we have 3'10", which is very generous. Minimum is 3'0". Anything more than 3'4", 3'5" is nice. 3'10" is very nice. I'm going to take 1 more inch from it. Alright, so I just took an inch, and I'm going to move it over here to the INT page. And you'll see this is still where it used to be until we move it in model space. Where's the cabinets? Where are they? Oh. Wrong spot. I do that a lot. Here we go. Now we're back into the INT. I've moved that into the right spot. I'm just going to stretch this down 1 inch. Now what we end up with is a 21-inch base cabinet. So since 21 is less than 24, it is a single door and single drawer cabinet. B21. O to B21. Slide these over, just housekeeping stuff. Sometimes they will, you see these, yeah, here we go, see these lamps. We want to go ahead and place them, again, just for pictorial reasons so we know what they're going to look like. So what we do there is we turn the electric layer back on, or unfreeze it. We'll just come over here, and we can see that all we did was we put one of them that hangs right over the sink. That's all. So we're going to come over here and copy this. And just place it over the sink. About right there. Good enough. And then we have a column over here. Oops, sorry. Layer 0. Construction lines or real lines, whichever. Doesn't matter. And since this is a wall, I'm going to go ahead and leave it white. Walls, I usually go ahead and leave white. And then I might go ahead and just put open to great room, or open to family room. So that they know which direction it's looking. Yeah, like that. Then we also have some cabinets over here on the right side. So I'm going to just rotate this. And let's see. Just copy. It is right over the back edge of the sink, right like that. So what we're going to have is the front of a cabinet, and then another half wall. And then the edge of the countertop, right there. So we already have a wall and an edge over here, so what we'll do is we'll steal all that, mirror it, like this, and move this to where the wall is. See our overhang matched up, our wall matched up, very good. Offset this 32 inches for our toe kick, which also is the same as offsetting the floor 4 inches. Alright, so there's the side. We know this is only 18 inches deep, so this is actually going to be what we're going to call an end panel. We can't put any more cabinets on this face because it's already a cabinet on this face. So we'll just come over here and write the word end panel. But we do have this little spot here, which is like right here. And we can put a cabinet in there. And the size of that is 1'6", so we can copy this base 18 right into that spot. And we'll just slide right in. Perfect, like as if it was designed from the beginning for it. This left side's a little tight. There. And then we need the column, last thing. Trim. And there we go. So those are the 4 kitchen elevations. Let's do the bathroom then. I usually like to get the bathrooms all done at the same time, then do the... Let's start with the kitchens and do the bathrooms, and then any other utility room and such. So I'm going to pause the video for now, and we'll go from here in the next video.